I have the direction. We are ready to begin. Welcome, everyone, to this wonderful Shabbat celebration. I am Rabbi Barry Silver. It's my great pleasure to be here on behalf of Congregation L'Dor Va-Dor with Cantor Carol Garrett, also with Ruth, our beautiful pianist here who makes great music. How about a hand for Ruth before we started?
Yay!
Getting us all in a lively mood. We got a lot of things that we're celebrating today, but the best thing that we're going to celebrate today is the purpose of religion. Many people think the purpose of religion is to bore you to tears or to tell other people what to do, or to try to inflict your version of the Almighty on everybody else. My father, who served this congregation and led this congregation till the age of 95, told me the real purpose of religion: to be able at any moment to sacrifice the person we are today for the person we could become tomorrow if we used all of our potential. Is there anyone here who's living up to their full potential? Raise your hand. Okay, if you are, this is unnecessary. Well, you can enjoy the music anyway. Maybe some food afterwards, but to be able to change is the greatest miracle. It requires a few things that are qualities that not everybody possesses. First, you need to have a rational, analytical mind in order to change in a positive direction. Second, you have to have the courage to try something new. And three, you have to be able to say, you know what? Maybe I did things in a way that could be improved upon. Like today, I always wear a robe. Today I'm disrobed.
Disarmed,
why is that?
Disrobed.
Cantor Jennifer Werby last week said, that's passé, these robes. The modern rabbis, they don't wear robes anymore. So I went out and got my nice talit and my tie. So now I'm disrobed. I used to be over there. Now for the first time, I'm to the right of most other people. That never happens before. I'm always to the left. This time I'm to the right. We also have many wonderful guests, including an international dance star who knows international dance, Jewish dance, Arabic dance, everything. And he's all over the internet. His name is Ira. And Diane, and I had the pleasure of performing their wedding ceremony, and they said, you can't walk down the aisle, you have to dance down the aisle, which I did not very well. So I said, all right, well, you have to dance behind the Torah, but I'm not sure if he's going to do that or not. But it's great to have him here. And if you want to learn how to dance, Israeli dance or otherwise, see him. He's taking down names. Okay, now we're going to start the service. And this service is a combination of Judaism and science. And it's meant to appeal to people of every religious belief and background, and especially people who have no religious beliefs or background, or don't even care for religion, atheists, agnostics. We're just here to help lift people's spirits and bring people together. And we're really thrilled that we are celebrating also on this Mother's Day, the mother of Dr. Marcy Weiss, Gitti Dater. I thank her very much for sponsoring this oneg, as she did also for her father, Jerome. And that was a wonderful oneg. And I'm encouraging everybody here, if you have a simcha or someone that you'd like to honor, sponsor an oneg and share a little bit of their memory with us. We're going to start out with a musical song called We Are Together.
We are together, it's so nice to be together, 'cause when we are together, it's so good. Feel free to join me. We are together, it's so nice to be together, 'cause when we are together, it's so good. Hine matov umanayim, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matov together, 'cause when we are together, it's so good. Thank you, Gloria, for the...
That is a great way to start out. We are together. Nous sommes ensemble. Nosotros estamos unidos. And we have some visitors all the way from Germany. Let's see if I remember this. Wir sind zusammen. How would you say that?
Christine.
I got it right. Wir sind zusammen. Okay. We are together. Surprise, surprise. Kulano yachad. We're all together, and it's great to be with you. We're going to now introduce the honoree for the candle lighting. You might wonder, how did they determine who should light the candles? We figured, who's the one who can brighten up the room the most? And we came up with Marcy Weiss. Come on up, please, and lead us in the candle lighting. If you come up here, you can also say anything you want. You can go off script and share any thoughts you like. Ah, yes, she's going to share some wonderful thoughts about her mother.
Thank you, Rabbi. So let me light the candles first, right? Okay, or wait. Creation began with the words, "Let there be light." Candle lighting sets Shabbat apart from the rest of the week. The lighting of the candles can also serve as a reminder to us to let our inner light shine, even in times where the world may feel dark. Thus, we are reminded to always bring intention to light dark places wherever we go. So let us light these candles and begin our holiday of Shabbat.
Shir Kiddushanu, B'mitzvotav, Betzivanu, Lahadlik Ner, Shel Shabbat. Good Shabbos.
Okay, thank you. So good evening, everyone. Shabbat Shalom. Glad you're all here. And this Shabbat, I wanted to make in honor and memory of my mom, and also for all the mothers that are here. You know, moms are so great. What would we do without them, right? So I wrote a little poem that I'd like to read to you now. I miss you, Mom. All moms are terrific, but let me tell you about mine. I miss her sweetness and love. She's really one of a kind. Her kindness and warmth was beyond compare. Her wisdom and strength I note with a flair. My mom is someone who was wise and smart. Her guidance and suggestions were always from her heart. She loved to knit and bake birthday cakes. Her talent with calligraphy was first rate. She prepared for Jewish holidays with delicious recipes. The care she put into Jewish tradition resulted in lasting memories. There were latkes and kugel and chicken fricassee, kreplach, knedelach, all consumed with nachas and glee. Everything I am and I know today, my mother modeled for me in her special way. She taught me to be true and kind, to love family, friends, and life. She was a wonderful mother, sister, bubby, and wife. So here's to you, Mom. Just to have known you, we are blessed. I just want you to know we think you're the best. Happy birthday to my mom. I wish she was here. And happy Mother's Day to my mom. And happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. You're all so special. Thanks. going to do the Kiddush, and I'll say after the Kiddush. Does that work for you?
All right. Thank you so much. I'll also share what my father used to say about Mother's Day. The M in mother stands for the millions of things our mothers do for us. The O in mother stands for the other things our mothers do for us. The T stands for the thousands of things our mothers do for us. The H stands for the hundreds of things that our mothers do for us. The E stands for everything that our mothers do for us. The R stands for the rest of the things that our mothers do for us. Put them all together, and what do you get? Slave. And my mom was very liberated. She took no offense at it all, because she was the choir director, and she had a very busy, active life, in addition to doing all of these motherly duties. We had here at L'Dor Va-Dor the Father, the Son, and the musical spirit for over a decade, and you are seeing you're the beneficiaries of their wisdom and their joy. I try to channel a little bit of it. Now we're going to continue with the Kiddush honor, this time led for us by Kevin Weiss. Come on up, please.
Okay, for the Kiddush, let us bless the source of life that ripens the fruit on the vine, as we hallow the seventh day, the Shabbat day, in remembrance of creation, for the Sabbath is first among holy days. We therefore raise the cup of sweet wine and recite the blessing over the wine. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen.
Amen.
Oh. And I just want to say also that I just miss my Bobby and all the great times we had and just all the great memories. There's just so many to go over that. But my brother also had something that he wrote that he wished for me to read for him. So it states, "My Bobby was the kindest and most sincere person I've ever met. Through selfless love and compassion for her family and friends, there was never a time when she wouldn't go out of her way to make others happy. When I came to visit her from college, I would get greeted with the biggest smile and a big kiss on the lips with both her hands wrapped around my cheeks. I would always have a pleasant stay full of home-cooked meals, which included family storytelling and games we would play. Then she would send me back home with a full bag of delicious rolls and 2 huge bags of freshly cut lettuce, so I could make salads when I got home. While growing up, she made me birthday cakes with my favorite Detroit team engraved in icing on the top of the cake. So many great memories. I could go on all day, but there will only be one Bubby. That's all I can say. Love, Ryan." Thank you, guys. Thank you, Rabbi.
Thank you for that great tribute. We might ask ourselves, when people remember us, what will they say about us? Hopefully they'll say something as wonderful and beautiful as that. That's a great tribute. By the way, our parents do leave behind for us a GPS, a guiding parental spirit. It's a little voice inside of us that gives us direction and helps us find our way when we feel lost. If we tune out all the cacophony and listen, we can hear our parents' voice, and it will get us to a beautiful, wonderful destination. By the way, we also have not only people from other countries here, we also have different species here. We do have a canine who is here, and Larry, is it yeah, Larry's here. Beautiful dog. If you want, I think you're able to pet Larry afterwards, so don't go anywhere. And also in honor of Gitti Dater, who loved to provide beautiful meals for people, we have probably our greatest oneg ever since the pandemic, or maybe ever, I don't know. But don't go anywhere when the service is over, all right? Hang out here because we want to get to know you, and also there's some really good food. We are going to also honor those people who are celebrating birthdays and anniversaries. I'd ask you to please stand up if your birthday or anniversary is in May. I do have a list. I know who you are. So you can't hide from me. Please stand for the Shehecheyanu. Or no, want to do
Happy birthday.
Shehecheyanu, or you want to
Happy
do?
birthday.
Oh, happy birthday. Okay.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to you.
Now, not everyone's celebrating a birthday. Some are celebrating anniversaries. So we're also going to do
And
Simon
anniversary.
Tov and Mazel Tov.
Simon Tov, Mazel Tov, Mazel Tov, Simon Tov, Simon Tov, Mazel Tov, Mazel Tov, Simon Tov, Simon Tov, Mazel Tov, Mazel Tov, and Simon Tov, Elanu. Simon Tov, Mazel Tov, Mazel Tov, Simon Tov, Simon Tov, Mazel Tov, Mazel Tov, Simon Tov, Simon Tov, Mazel Tov, Mazel Tov, and Simon Tov,
And according to our program, we're also going to recite for you the priestly benediction.
Yivarecha Adonai v'yishmarecha.
May you be blessed and protected with good health and prosperity.
Yair Adonai panav elecha v'kudnecha.
May the light of reason and love shine upon you.
Yair Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom.
May you be lifted up to new levels of joy and achievement.
V'yasem lecha shalom.
May you be a source of peace. Amen.
Amen.
Which version?
The Earth Day. Well, then you can watch. You want to watch on mine? Or it'll be.
A creative force began it all. In silence, you can hear its call and feel this cosmic power running through you. The planets, stars, and galaxies, the setting sun, the lakes and trees, the buzzing bees, rejoice in hallelujah. Everyone, hallelujah. One day the spark of life emerged, burst forth, diversified and surged, and evolution led this force right to you. It fashioned life in varied shapes, like birds and trees and juicy grapes, and talking apes that chanted hallelujah. A genius by the name of Charles set off debate and many quarrels. You probably don't think about Darwin, do ya? But he allowed the human race to finally understand our place in the tree of life and embrace hallelujah. Hallelujah. Praise to that creative power that generates life. From a remote and distant day, preserved within our DNA, are the struggles of forebears who never knew ya. But across tremendous space and time, stupendous tremendous power, so sublime, did send us from the slime to hallelujah. 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 This is for Mother's Day now. Our Mother Earth is holy ground where miracles each day abound. With the gift of life, the cosmos did imbue ya. So wake up from your daily grind and utilize your heart and mind. Come join with us and let's find hallelujah. 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 My friends, on this Mother's Day, we celebrate Mother Earth. The Jewish people were environmentalists before the word was invented. They created a day every 7 days to celebrate creation, to celebrate the planet, to celebrate the gift of life, and to celebrate all life forms. We call it Shabbat. It was the original Earth Day in which we celebrated Mother Earth. We still celebrate it today, and we have many, many holidays that are agricultural that celebrate the miracle of nature. I would say that it is blasphemous for us to come to a service on Shabbat and leave here not being radical environmentalists, because the earth is being assaulted far more than anything our ancestors even could have imagined or contemplated. And if we sit here and celebrate creation and then walk out and do nothing to prevent the massive destruction that's going on, then we are offering up empty prayers, hypocritical words. I urge everyone to recognize the danger and to do something about it. Use less carbon and use less fossil fuels. Eat less meat and milk, or none at all. And for heaven's sake, don't buy any animal products that come out of a slaughterhouse. They violate every single bit of compassion and Jewish law imaginable. Let us be good stewards, and let us have compassion for all living things. Yes?
We are radical environmentalists. We are radical environmentalists. We like clean air and water and the beaches in good order. We're radical environmentalists.
There you go. Thank you, Gloria. Yes, radical means going back to the roots. That's what the word radical, like a radish, it's the root. So going back to the roots of Judaism causes us to be radical environmentalists. We're now going to continue with Lecha Dodi. All the other prayers are really just thanks for creation. We're starting with Lecha Dodi.
Lecha Dodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala. Now, if you'd like to face the doorway and welcome the Shabbat bride.
We greet the Sabbath. You can turn around. Standing here is optional.
Boi v'shalom ateret bala, gam b'simcha u'shekula, tochemenu am segula, boi kala v'ui kala. You can turn back. Lecha Dodi, Lecha Dodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekabela.
Excellent. Very good. He's going to work for the good guys, right?
If you'd like to remain
Okay, good.
standing for the Baruch Hu and the Shema, you're welcome to do so.
Thank you very much for sharing that.
Yeah,
Congratulations.
thank you.
Okay, the Baruch Hu.
Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Leolam Vaed.
The Baruch Hu means let us give praise for the magnificence of creation and the incredible process of evolution, which over billions of years led to you and me and other miracles that we see throughout the planet. We now celebrate the unity of the cosmos, the unity of the human family, and the unity of all living things with the Shema.
Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Vaed.
Please be seated. The cosmos reflects a creative power, and this power is one. When we perceive this unity in our neshama, a new day will have begun. The next prayer, the V'ahavta, reminds us that we should express love for all living things. V'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavecha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol meodecha v'hayu hadvarim ha'ela asher anochi mitzavcha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam v'shivtecha b'veitecha u'vlechtecha v'derech u'shachbecha u'v'kamecha u'kshartam lehot ayadecha v'hayu letotafot b'neinecha למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים אני אדוני אלוהיכם. These prayers are ways of taking us, like I said in the beginning, from where we are now to a higher level. We get there by recognizing that we are miraculous results of creation, that there is a divine creative power within us, that it's all interconnected, and that we should express love for all living things. If we could do those things, that would help get us to that higher level. We're now going to sing V'Shamru. Our ancestors thought everything was created in 6 days. It actually took a bit longer than that. If you confuse 6 days with the actual age of the universe, which I think is about 14.5 billion years, that error is like thinking that to go from New York to California is 100 yards. That's how big an error it was. But one thing they did get right is that everything around us is wondrous and miraculous and deserving of awe and wonder and reverence. The V'Shamru.
V'Shamru b'nei Yisrael HaShabbat L'asot et HaShabbat L'doratam b'ritolam B'nei Ruvain b'nei Yisrael Odhit leolam V'Shamru b'nei Yisrael et HaShabbat L'asot et HaShabbat L'doratam b'ritolam Ki sheshet yamim asa Adonai et hashamayim v'et haaretz v'shamaru b'nei Yisrael et hashabat l'asot et hashabat l'doratam b'ritolam u'v'yom hashvi shavat minafash Shavat v'yinafat V'Shamaru b'nei Yisrael et berich olam.
If you could leave that up there just a minute, I just want to share with you, V'shamru means and they shall keep, and it's related to the word shomer, Shabbos. You ever hear somebody says, I'm shomer Shabbos? That means, that's from that word shamru, means to keep the Sabbath. I'm shomer Shabbos. Most people, when they say I'm shomer Shabbos, what they usually mean is they're following some kind of archaic rituals that don't really have a whole lot to do with Shabbat, like not turning on a light or not driving. I'm still trying to figure out why that is done on Shabbat. I can't I can't figure this out yet. It's never been explained to me. But I keep Shabbat. I am shomer Shabbat. When I keep Shabbat, I spend time with my family if I can. I try to expose myself to nature if I can, and I try to share joy and love with other people and try to learn something new if I can. I think those are good ways of keeping the Sabbath. The Sabbath wasn't supposed to be a sadder day. It was supposed to be a more joyous day. So it shouldn't be a Saturday like S-A-D-D-E-R day. It should be a happier day. It's not where we think, I can't do this, I can't do this. These are things that we enjoy doing. We now continue with the Avot, the Imahot, to celebrate our fathers and mothers. Another way of closing the gap between who we are today and who we could be would be to honor our father and mother, and to honor Mother Earth, and to honor Father Time, by not squandering our days and enjoying the beauty of nature. So we continue with the Avot, the Imahot. Are you playing this one?
Not this one, no.
Oh, you fooled me. Okay. If you'd like, you can stand for this in honor of our parents and our ancestors who gave us this blessed heritage. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei avotenu v'imotenu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, v'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Socha, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, v'Elohei Leah. Ha'el hagadol hagibor v'hanora el elyon, gomel chasadim tovim v'koneh hakol, v'zocher chazdei avot v'imahot, u'mevi geula livnei bneihem, למען שמו באהבה, מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן. ברוך אתה אדוני מגן אברהם ועזרת שרה. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש וקדושים בכל יום. יהלוך הסלע, ברוך אתה אדוני, האל הקדוש. Please be seated. Now I know why Cantor Garrett's over at the piano. We're going to continue with A Mother's Prayer.
I pray you be my eyes and watch her where she goes and help her to be wise and help her to let go. Every mother's prayer, every child knows. Lead her to a place, guide her with your grace, to a place where she'll be safe. I pray she finds your light and hold it in her heart. As darkness falls each night, remind her where you are. Every mother's prayer, every child knows. Lead her to a place, guide her with your grace, give her things so she'll be safe. Lead her to a place, guide her with your grace. to a place where she'll be safe.
Beautiful. Toda rabah. We're now going to continue with silent meditation. Let us spend a few moments reflecting on how fortunate we are. If we had mothers that were kind to us, let us consider our good fortune on living on this beautiful planet, giving thanks to Mother Earth. Let us think about how we can repay some of the debt that we owe for the blessings that we've received, as we spend a few moments in silent meditation trying to go from where we are to where we could be. We're now going to read the names of those who are ailing in hopes that they will receive a refuah shlema, complete restoration to good health. By the way, some people wonder, why do you need to read Hebrew? What's with the Hebrew? Why not just do everything in English so everybody can understand? Hebrew is the only language in the history of planet Earth that was dead and came back to life. It's a miracle language. People thought the Jews were crazy to even attempt such a thing. It reminds us every day that when we think that it's over, it's not over. It also connects us. Language, culture connects us with Jews all across time, all across space. And the ideals of our country and our heritage were first articulated in the language of Hebrew. We cherish Hebrew, but here we also believe that it should be translated so that everybody can understand what's going on. We're going to read now the names of those who are ailing. Sharon Babbitt, Muriel Dworkin, Rita Elias, Roberta Feynman, Laura Gallagher, Sherry Glass, Nadine Herbst, Gary Herman, Stephen Heyman, Carol Kahn, Kendra Kurz, Ann Kritzer, Dr. Sudhir Nair, Ronald Needleman, Marilyn Paul, Laura Perlman-Devins, Ira Phillips, Vivian Cronin, Bernie Rosen, Libby Rubin, Laura Santa Cruz, Harvey Shearer, Miriam Sivak, Jacob Viner, Douglas Volan, Jordan Volan, Naomi Volan, and Sheila Winston.
Kat Jackson.
Anybody else? Yes? Yes. Thank you. Anybody else? Yes. Thank you. Anyone else? All right, well, let us also keep in our thoughts the people in Ukraine and Russia, the desperate people approaching our border, and the women in Iran and Iraq, and I guess throughout the Muslim world. And let us say a Mishabera for our planet Earth, and hope that all of them will receive a speedy recovery, perhaps with our help.
Strength to bless the ones before us. Help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Mishebera imotenu bechor habracha ve'avotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say
should also mention that we have Stanley Rosenwasser right here, our president, our fearless leader, and he also is largely responsible for that beautiful oneg back there, in addition to Dr. Marcy Weiss, and we appreciate all he's doing. He might share a few words with us if he feels so inclined later on. We're now going to have the Torah reading, a great passage from the Torah called Behar. We cherish the Torah here not because it was written by an infallible being, but because it was written by fallible people trying to understand the world and trying to figure out how to live in harmony with it and trying to figure out how human beings can live in peace and having a vision of a world at peace. The vision wasn't, it was a little tainted, but we cherish it because they led us on this path of morality and of aspiring to greater heights. You know, there's a great scientist named Ptolemy. He's a really, really smart guy, but he wasn't infallible. But for about 1,500 years, they believed everything he said. So they thought the earth was in the center of the entire cosmos. They got it a little bit wrong, and it took a toll on me and a toll on you. The Torah also, if you take it literally, you will think that human beings are at the center and that everything was created just for us and also just for the Jewish people and just for male Jewish people. This would be a very, very big mistake. So we don't take it literally, but we're inspired by the dreams of our people, and we cherish the ability to understand more and more and come closer and closer to truth through the years. So we also cherish the Torah because our ancestors gave their lives preserving a dream in the Torah. Let us hope that we are worthy of it. We read responsively. Shabbat sustains the rhythm of Jewish life. It restores the aches of the past, nourishes the present, and gives us the ability to prepare for the future. Together?
We can say without exaggeration that more than the Jewish people preserved Shabbat, it is Shabbat that has preserved the Jewish people.
That's the famous saying from Achad Ha'am. Now we have the honors. We're going to have Alan Rubenstein come up and Lucy Montague. Please come up, and they are going to carry the Torah around. I also need some noisemakers. Who wants to follow them with these noisemakers? Anybody? We're also celebrating something else that I heard about today, I believe. Kevin was just accepted into a pharmaceutical school. Congratulations.
Mazel tov, Kevin.
All right, now we're going to have some lively Torah songs.
Yisrael, Chai Chai V'Kayam. David Melech 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 Yisrael, Chai Chai V'Kayam.
Should also thank Sharon Leibovitz for doing Like everything that you can imagine behind the scenes, she does. Even giving me my pointer, because I forget. Oh yeah, I got a pointer here. That's good. Yes, you're not supposed to touch the Torah. So I don't put my finger on it, but the pointer, it's shaped like a yad, meaning a hand. You can use the pointer. And we have a blessing for everything, so we'll recite the blessing before the recitation of the Torah. Baruch hu et Adonai hamavorach. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim, v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah. Amen. Vayidaber Adonai el Moshe b'Har Sinai. And according to the Torah, God spoke to Moses on Mount Sinai, lemor as follows: Daber b'nei Yisrael v'amart alehem ki tavo'u el eretz asher ani noten lachem. And he said, when I take you to that land, deliver you to the land that I'm giving to you, v'savta ha'aretz sibat ladonai, Shabbat ladonai. And when the earth gives forth its harvest, you shall have a Sabbath to the Lord. Shesh shanim tizra sadecha v'shesh shanim tizmor karmecha. 6 years you shall sow your field, and for 6 years you shall reap the harvest of your vineyards. V'safta et tuata, and you shall reap the harvest of the fields. Uv'shana hashvi'i Shabbat Shabbaton Adonai la'aretz. On the 7th year, give the land a rest. Treat the earth with respect. Don't exploit it, and give it a rest. A Shabbat Shabbaton. When a word ends in on, that means big. So Shabbat Shabbaton is like a really huge Shabbat. Sadecha lo tizra v'charmecha lo tizmor. Don't plant anything in those years. Et sefich kesircha lo tiksor v'et anvei nazircha lo tivsor. Don't pick up any of the fruit from the field, the grapes of your vineyard. Shanat Shabbaton Adonai la'aretz. Should be a year that you give back to the Lord. V'hayata Shabbat la'aretz lachem la'achla lacha v'la'abdacha u'la'amatacha u'l'sechircha u'l'teshuvacha v'hagirim imach. You shall allow all the food that grows naturally in that year to be used to feed the beasts of the field, the stranger, otherwise translated as the immigrant. Hagirim means the immigrant. Use it for the immigrant. Let them walk onto your property and take what they need. Use it for the poor, for the stranger, for the orphan, for those who need help in order to get by. Should be for the beasts and the animals and all people to eat. The Sefarta Lacha Shava Shabbaton Shanim Shava Shanim Shava Pa'amim V'hayu Lacha Yemei Shava Shabtot Hashanim Tesa V'arba'im Shana. And then you should also calculate 7 times 7 years, which comes to 49 years. V'avalta Shofar Tu'ah B'chodesh HaShvi'i V'asor L'chodesh. And in that year, on the 10th day of the 7th month, you shall sound the shofar, B'yom HaKippurim, on Yom Kippur, Ta'aviru shofar b'chol ha'artzachem. Sound the shofar in all your lands. Ukadashtem et shanat ha'chamishim shana, and you shall consecrate that 50th year. We call it the Jubilee year. Comes from the Hebrew yovel, meaning a ram, because it was the ram's horn that was sounded. And then these famous words, which I will read to you in Hebrew, which will probably mean nothing to you, but when I translate them into English, you may recognize these words. Ukaratem dohor ba'aretz l'chol yoshveha. And proclaim liberty throughout the land unto all the inhabitants thereof. Anybody know where you can find those words? The Liberty Bell, yes. That is on the Liberty Bell. These words that I just read from Behar. Blessing after the Torah. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu torat emet, v'chai olam nata b'tochenu, Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah. Amen. Well, I used to have a bunch of jokes that I told my kids. I had jokes for people of all ages. So I had one for my kids. This guy was let out of jail, and he comes running down the street. He's so happy at his liberation. He goes, "I'm free. I'm free at last." And a little kid standing, watching him run by says, "So what? I'm 4. I'm free. I'm free at last." My friends, it's been a long, long trek for the Jewish people. We've been through some pretty tough times. There's some people in this room who have been through times more horrific than anything we could even begin to imagine. And somehow, because of that Jewish indomitable spirit, they've emerged from that even better. They're not bitter, they're better. It didn't bring out the beast in them, it brought out the best in them. But what of us? What of us who were fortunate to live like I did in Stamford, Connecticut, in idyllic surroundings? Do we really take time to celebrate how fortunate we are compared to the vast number of Jewish people who lived under horrific conditions? Or the number of people today in foreign lands who live under such distress and want that they would risk their lives in order to try to come to our shores and see the other words written by another Jewish person, Emma Lazarus. "Give me your poor, your tired, your huddled masses yearning to breathe free." Do we really take advantage of that? My friends, we have a democracy, but look what's happened to it. Our democracy is really in terrible shape. You know, I was going to just talk about pleasantries and how happy we should be. But how can I do that when I see what's going on in the world around us? All right, we have a Supreme Court that is above the law. They don't feel the need to follow any type of standards. Should the highest court in the country adhere to the lowest standards? Let's just say when one of the judges says that he's not on the take and he doesn't have friends and he's not getting all these free trips, let's just say, "I'm a doubting Thomas." All right, I'm not going to mention any names. I just happen to be a doubting Thomas. And when he receives trips from a guy named Crow and flies on his plane, I'll just say, as the crow flies, he is tainted. But then we have Congress. Congress, do you know what the opposite of pro is? Pro-con. So what's the opposite of progress? Congress. My gosh, it's total gridlock. And are you telling me that the best we can come up with the two parties is a guy who's a serial abuser and another guy who's barely able to function competently? Come on. This is the best we can do? We're in trouble, my friends. But we're really in trouble here in Florida. Yeah, we're really in serious trouble here in Florida. We have a governor who insists on playing Mickey Mouse politics and fiddling while the earth literally is burning up. I mean, he's fiddling while the earth burns. Is it even possible that we could elect anyone who's a climate denier, let alone a political party that's a climate denier? This is shocking. This is very concerning. Banning books. I thought that went out with Salem witch trials, or maybe the Nazis used to do that, but banning books. Let me tell you something. I filed an action to ban the Bible because according to the criteria established by the state of Florida, by our governor, any book that has explicit sex, rape, incest, murder, intolerance, indoctrination, and discussions about anti-Semitism. That book shouldn't be allowed. The Bible is at the top of the list in every single category, making people feel uncomfortable. I don't know about you, but when I read that a disrespectful child should be stoned to death, I'm kind of uncomfortable. I remember I had my moments. You know, it makes me a little nervous if that would be the law of the land. Do you know that a book was put on the banned list because it said the words when describing the Bible that it has passages dealing with social justice? Social justice was considered a violation of the law. You can't discuss social justice in the state of Florida. Misogyny, no problem. Stoning a woman to death if she's not a virgin when she's married, okay. Genocide, it's all good. But social justice, this is something that's now illegal in the state of Florida. The same is true with women's rights. We're celebrating Mother's Day. The best way to appreciate Mother's Day is to, for goodness sake, allow women the ability to choose if they're ready for that awesome responsibility and they're ready to become a mother instead of forcing it upon them. Being able to bear children by choice is the greatest blessing. Being forced into parenthood against your will is a curse. And it's not just a curse for the woman. It's a curse for society. If you look at all the countries in the world, if you see those countries which force women to bear children against their will because they're deemed as incubators, those countries, those societies fail. And where they have freedom to choose, those societies prosper. It's not simply a problem of one party or the other. The entire political system is bankrupt. We have freedom in this country, but we don't utilize it properly. And we are making a mockery. We should call it a democracy, not a democracy, is what we have. So my friends, I'm announcing to you this evening, in behalf of this passage, Behar, which says that proclaim liberty throughout the land. I just want you to know, I'm announcing that freedom speaks with a Hebrew accent. We have the Statue of Liberty. We have the Liberty Bell with words from Jewish people on it. The words of Martin Luther King, let justice rain down like waters. The words of the spirituals about let my people go. This all comes from Jewish scripture. We need to be leading the charge. Most of us, if we're traditional, we're just too busy mumbling prayers that don't mean anything. And if we're not traditional, we don't bother going at all. We need to do our job as Jews. The world's waiting for us. The world's expecting us to lead the way, and we're slacking. So we need to really get down to business. So I'm putting together a coalition. I've talked to a lot of people, a coalition of people who are tired of this country being subjected to rampant, vicious, grotesque gun violence, gun control advocates, women's advocates, environmentalists, people who are concerned about immigrants, people who are concerned about the poor, people who are concerned about the healthcare system, where if you don't have enough money, you can't get treated. We're putting together a coalition to try to fight back against some of these horrific laws that were just passed. The good news is the legislature is out of session, so they can't do any more damage. But now we need to work together to try to undo some of the harm. And we better work hard to save the planet for our kids, because there's not going to be any excuse. In the future, we're supposed to leave this world better than we found it. Are we doing that? Not even close. We need to reverse trends. Some people think it's impossible, but Jews believe in the indomitable spirit of the human species, our ability to overcome. We've been able to do that before. After the Holocaust, we established the state of Israel. When everything seemed bleak, we came through, and we fought off a whole bunch of countries that wanted to destroy us. We have the ability, we have the brains, the will, the desire. We need to work with all people of all religions and all faiths in order to make this happen. And I'll leave you with this slogan. Together united, we'll never be divided. Juntos unidos, jamás vencidos, which pretty much means the same thing. Toujours unis, nous sommes bénis. If we're always together, we will be blessed. And kulanu yachad en lanu pachad. If we're always together, we have no fear. We have no fear. We look forward to the future. We will create a brighter future because, as they say in Judaism, the night is always followed by the dawn. Our day begins at night, and then it's followed by the dawn. And in French, they say, c'est parfois au cours des heures plus sombres que naisse la plus belle lumière. It is perhaps at the darkest hour that the most beautiful light is born. Let us remember that. We're incurable optimists. We will overcome. We can do this. Let's work together. And let's remember, in a democracy, some are guilty and all are responsible. Let's exercise our ability to make this world a better place. And let's work together to do that. Shabbat, Shalom,
Shabbat Shalom.
and Happy Mother's Day. Thank you very much. Oh, we have a special treat here. I don't know about you, but I've never heard someone who's not Jewish sing My Yiddish Mama. When she told me she's going to sing My Yiddish Mama, I thought, for Mother's Day, this I got to see, all right? This is a great treat. So we're going to have... What's your name? Kathy Martin is going to sing My Yiddish Mama, accompanied by Ruth. I don't know what key she's on, but whither she goeth, Ruth will go.
My Yiddish mama, I need her more than ever now. My Yiddish mama, I long to kiss that wrinkled brow. I long to hold her hand once more, as in days gone by, and ask her to forgive me for things that I did that made her cry. How few were her pleasures. She never cared for fashion style. Her jewels and treasures, they found them in her baby smile. Oh, I know what I am as I am today, to that dear little lady so old and gray, to that wonderful Yiddish mama, Yiddish mama of mine. Thank you.
Wow, that was great.
Oh, it is? Nope, I took it out. I don't know.
That was really awesome. Thank you very much. You get to have an extra piece of challah. It reminds me of, I just have to tell you what my mom used to say. When my mom was getting elderly and she wasn't doing all that well, you would say to her, "How are you doing?" She'd say, "I'm terrific, but I'll get better." She was an incurable optimist. And we're lucky, all of us, to have mothers who cared for us and loved us so much. We continue now with Aleinu. It's optional. If you'd like, you can stand for this part of our service.
עלינו לשבח לדון הכל, לתת גדולה יוצא בראשית, שלא עשנו גויי הרצון, ולא שמענו כביש בכל האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם, ואנחנו כל זמורים ומשחרים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא נאמר והיה אדוני למלך כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו
We continue with the Kaddish. We do think about our moms and our dads at this time and other dear ones. By the way, I don't know if you know why Yiddish is called Mama Lashon, the mother tongue. That the father couldn't get a word in edgewise. So we're going to now read some names of those who have been summoned from us recently: Arnold Blitzer, Ben Ferenc, Harold Feynman, Louis Greenberg, Barbara Gross, and Arlene Potter, and those the anniversary of whose departure occurs these days: Roger Brenner, Michael Allen Chapnick, Jules Cohen, Barbara Corman, Kitty Dater, Mel Fishman, Conrad Friedman, Samuel Gitterman, Martin Glass, Ruth Goldman, Arthur Gralla, Matthew Grant, Nancy Heyman, David Hoffman, Larry Kaminsky, David Cohn, Edna Kramer, Louis Millman, Muriel Gralla Minkoff, David Mulrad, Louis Newman, Shelley Pilch, Linda Pruskin, Joanne Rosenthal, Richard Sauber, Gertrude Schloff, Milton Schloff, Rodine Schreiber, Rabbi Sam Silver, Harold Silverman, Myron Mike Sussman, Joel Tumarkin, Louis Weiner, Edith Werby, Arthur Willens. Let us give thanks that we have the ability to make their memory a blessing by incorporating some of their fine qualities into how we behave. Any other names that anyone would like to suggest? Yes? Yes? Thank you. Anybody else? Okay, then let us read to you. Oh, is there another? Go ahead. Thank you very much. You're right behind that bright light in my eyes. All right, let us read together the Kaddish. Yiskadal, v'yiskadash shemer haba, v'yamad yivrach uruseh, v'yamlich malchuseh, v'chayachon v'yamechon, v'chayed uchol beis Yisrael, v'agalav izman kariv imru amen. Yehei shemer haba mivorach l'olam umei umaya, yisporach v'yistabach v'yisporar v'yisromam v'yisnaseh, v'yisadar v'yisaleh v'yisalal shemei l'kedusha b'richu. Le'elam yenkol birchasa v'shirasa, tishbechasa v'nechamasa, da'amichon v'yomah v'yimru amen. Yehei shlam rabba min shmaya v'chayim, aleinu v'yakol Yisrael v'yimru amen. Oseh shalom v'imromav, v'yaseh shalom aleinu v'yakol Yisrael v'yimru amen. Now we have, please be seated. Now we have announcements, and then we'll conclude our service.
Thank you, Rabbi Barry. Thank you, Cantor Carol. Thank you to Kathy for that beautiful rendition. Thank you for Marcy and family for the Oneg Shabbat and sponsorship. Thank you so much. And Ruth on the piano. Thank you very much, Ruth, for that. L'Dor Va-Dor welcomes all, and we are so glad to have everybody here, literally and virtually, through our doors. Thank you, Stanley, for the beautiful oneg that everyone's about to partake in. On Monday, May 15th, we have a new program that we've renamed. It's called Interfaith News and Views with Rabbi Barry and Pastor Fritz on Zoom at 7 p.m. And on Tuesday, May 16th, we're going to have Touch of Torah with Cantor Carol this week. We're lucky enough to have her. And next Friday, please join us for Shabbat here at the Heritage of Delray at 7:30 p.m. with Rabbi and Cantor. And you can find more about L'Dor Va-Dor on our website, ledorvador.org, our social media, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. And we love that you're part of L'Dor Va-Dor. Be part of our family, our mishpacha. Shabbat shalom and happy Mother's Day to one and all. Thank you so much.
I'll just also mention, make sure you're on our, you go to our website or on our news list, our newsletter, because there's a lot of stuff going on and there's a lot of social action happening, and we need you. We need everybody. We are still going full steam ahead on the lawsuit to protect abortion rights, and we will be filing soon another lawsuit against the 6-week ban. The 6-week ban is called the Heartbeat Act. I just want to share with you what you might already know. At 6 weeks, a fetus doesn't have a heartbeat. Like the people who are behind this law, the fetus doesn't even have a heart. So it couldn't have a heartbeat. The heart develops later on. It's misnamed, and we're going to challenge that. And please get involved. Also, if you disagree with anything that we're doing, we'd love to have discussion, dialogue. All opinions and all points of view are welcome. We're now going to continue with a final song called We Are the World. This is in lieu of my final benediction. I changed the words a little bit to make it environmental. There comes a time when we're heating up the world and the earth is threatened as it was. There are species dying, and it's time to take a stand for life in all its varied forms. We are the world, we are the children, we are the ones who can save the earth if we all pitch in. There's a choice we're making, we're saving our own lives. We can help make a cooler earth, just you and me. Everyone, yes, we can help make a cooler earth, just you and me. There comes a time when we must turn off Fox News and begin to face reality. The debate is over, there's no time left to lose. Saving Earth is up to you and me. We are the world, we are the children, we are the ones who can make a change through conservation. There are glaciers melting, and it's time to take a stand. We can all help save the earth, just you and me. Yes, we can all help save the earth, just you and me. CO2 now fills the atmosphere, and its level must begin to fall. And our goal is clear, 350 parts per million must become the target of us all. We are the world, we are the children, we are the ones who can save the earth if we are patient. There are oceans rising, and it's time to take a stand. We can help make a cooler earth, just you and me. Yes, we can help make a cooler earth, just you and me. Shabbat Shalom. Happy Mother's Day. Feliz
Shabbat
Dia de las
Shalom.
Madres. Don't go anywhere. The Cantor and I are going back to the back. We're going to do the motzi, and then we have an amazing oneg spread. We're counting on you to help eat all this really good food and get to know one another. So meet us in the back for the motzi.